Another ad scores your opponent, Ron Johnson, for taking a government loan for his company. In fairness, no one on your campaign says this in the ad, but you splice in newscasts that use the term. The newspaper's analysis, this newspaper's analysis, indicates that this was not a straight loan, but more like a government-subsidized loan to help build a rail line to a plant that would shortly become his firm. The ad also spliced in a comment from Johnson, but it was in reply to a different question about tax incentives for another company. Do you still stand by this ad, and if so, why?
Absolutely. Those were all statements made by reporters, and, you know, I'm frankly incredulous that anyone would doubt the fundamental truth. In fact, your newspaper called it half-true, which I didn't think was fair. The headline said, Feingold ad, completely misleading, but your own analysis admitted that 3 out of our 4 claims were correct. Claim number 1. That company, which he married into, okay, got a $75,000 grant for a railroad spur so they would have a good deal for their products, which I support. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Remember, this is a guy who said that he doesn't believe that the government should ever do anything like this. So he never paid it back. You know, he took over the company or whatever he did. He never wrote out a check said, hey, thanks for this, but now I can pay you back.
But it wasn't supposed to be paid back.
Oh, I know it wasn't supposed to be paid back, Carl, but the point is he got a $75,000 grant, period. And that was important. He said he built this company from the ground up. The fact is he got help. And that's not wrong, but it's wrong to suggest he didn't do it. The notion that industrial revenue bonds aren't government programs, I mean, you ran an editorial by a couple of guys who were secretaries of commerce who said, we ran the IRB program. Well, that sounds like government to me. And on this point.
Op-ed, not editorial.
Oh, op-ed, excuse me. You're sensitive about that, I understand. Okay, so he gets $4 million in lower interest rates because of an industrial revenue bond. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. But every expert that really was asked about this, if you look, and was even in your own article, said that's $4 billion. Otherwise, why would he just go to a bank? It's because the government sets up a program and sets up a situation where you can get a $4 million loan. And, you know, frankly, I got to be honest with you here. They even changed the website. The dates on the website, as your paper reported, to try to make it look like he was there at different times. At first, they had it there to make it look like he was there earlier, to make it look like he founded the company. But then when the story came out, they made it 2 years later. Look, the guy got plenty of help. There's nothing wrong with it. But how can he get away with saying that it's wrong for companies that got help from the stimulus package to do it? There is a company, Ricardo, right down the street in Oshkosh from me that I just visited called Renewergy. Renewergy is employing about 15 people. They're trying to get into the wind turbine business, sort of the smaller wind turbines, not the huge ones, but ones that might help a farm or a car dealer. I saw what they were doing. Fascinating. 5% of their financing came from the stimulus package. What Mr. Johnson's trying to get away with is saying he got this kind of help, and that's what our ad says and doesn't distort it one bit with regard to that, but it's wrong for other people to do it because he doesn't believe the government should ever do it. That's the point we were trying to make. That's all we said. No one accused him of doing anything wrong. It's simply not shooting straight to suggest that this business was made on his own. The taxpayers helped him. I'm glad they did. That's not a bad thing, but shouldn't criticize people for the same thing.